hello. I've been chatting it up with Instagram, waiting for you guys to join the conversation. And my face is like glowing in the screen, but we're just gonna roll with it, trying a different lighting technique, and it is super bright. Instagram, it doesn't look as harsh, but you guys are getting the brightest version of me. Hope you like it. But anyway, happy Monday. This is the first Monday in August, right? I do believe so. Yeah, the first look. I gotta pull out my phone because I'm like, let me not lie. I think this is our first Monday of the month, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because last Monday was the 31st. So yeah, this is the first Monday in August. Yay. I keep telling you guys, this is a little thing. Y'all hold me accountable. Next year, 2024, I need sound effects. Because I always hear it in my head. I'm like, woo. But I never have have the actual sounds. So we're gonna get sound effects next year. But I'm excited because I was literally talking to someone today and I said last fall I was challenged to be more consistent doing lives in my Facebook community. And we had made a goal to really grow it. We had an event, what was it, not this past summer, but the summer before that. And we had created this group in Facebook, and it was for an event. We had a summit where we had a ton of speakers come, and we had a virtual event. It was really cool. And then we let that group die. We used it for the 3 day event, and then we never touched it really again. And one of my good mentors, shout outs to you, was like, Corey, what you gonna do with that group? Like, you should build your own community of people and be involved. And one way to do that is be consistent. And guys, just like doctors make the worst patients, coaches sometimes make the the hardest coaching clients, because I tell my clients that all the time, like, build your community. And they always tell me like it's a lot of work, and it is a lot of work, but I'm happy that my coaches and mentors told me to do the same, because come this fall we will be a year at this Monday Night Live series. We have not missed a Monday, knock on wood, yet. And I was telling my friends, I was like, I'm just so excited about that, because it's hard to be consistently, if that makes sense. Like, I really wanted to do this, but there have been Mondays where I'm like, I'm not gonna do it, but I'm like, yay, we made it. So I'm really happy. If you've been here since day one, shout outs to you. We're gonna continue lives next year. I think there'll be a different day. But shout outs to Monday Night Lives, because this has been so much fun. And I hope you have gotten as much out of it as I have, because it's really cool thinking of topics that can help you and give you like free valuable information. All right, sorry, that was my little soapbox. Before I get into the topic for today, I just want to say hi, I'm Corey. I'm Corey from the Foster. I'm the CEO of iRock Marketable Business Solutions. We're based in Virginia, just in case you're new here. I know every day we're getting new people into our community, and so I always want to make sure that I do introduce myself. Outside of being a CEO, I'm also a speaker, a trainer, and a certified business coach. If you're not familiar with iRock, we actually have two components to our business. We have our Done With You coaching, where we help small business owners, specifically coaches and consultants who want to start, run, or scale to six figures. And we help them through different types of coaching programs. We have one-on-one coaching, we have group coaching, and we also have what we call power hours, where any individual, without having to sign a long-term contract, can just talk to me for an hour, and I can help them solve one big problem or hurdle that they're facing. On the other side of our business, we have our Done For You marketing firm, which has everything from logo creation to video editing to website design, landing page design, email marketing, lead generation, course creation. We pretty much pride ourselves on being a one-stop shop for all things small business owners and marketing. And we're constantly adding new things to our list of services to support you guys, because if nothing else, we're going to be the most affordable option in town for you guys. So we're all about being budget friendly, whether you're on the coaching side or the marketing side. So if you haven't checked us out, definitely go to iRock, that's IROC, marketablebusinesssolutions.com. We run promotions every month. And we also give you cool, valuable content. If some of you are watching from our private community. Shout out to you guys. In our private community, we do lives like this. We also have random little lives that I pop into. We have different resources in there as well. And for you guys, here we go. There's the camera. For you guys who are new to that group, make sure you go to the top. It's pinned. We have over 8 hours of free content for you. Trainers from all over the country giving out great information. It's the recordings from our last summit along with some cool freebies. So if you haven't taken advantage of that, like do so. Also in that guide section, we have previous Monday Night Lives. We also have some webinars in there. There's loads of resources that are there completely free and for you. So check that out. And if you haven't joined the community, join the community. All right. So with that being said, tonight's discussion, and shout out to you guys. If you're watching, tell me hello. I like to see who's in the house. Let me see if I can see. This light is so bright. We will see if I can actually see any of the comments and I can say hello. Shout outs to Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl, I see you in the house. And look, Cheryl, don't be shy. Cheryl has an event coming up, y'all. It's her company is called, hold on, let me think. Advocating for Kids. I have to remember everybody's brands. But shout outs, put your flyer, put something in the chat for the community. Y'all need to go ahead and sign up for Cheryl's event. She's amazing. She's based out of VA, like myself, and she's doing really great things for the community and outside of the community. She's nationwide, y'all. She really helps families who are supporting children with learning differences in the public school system. So check it out. All right, so what are we talking about tonight? We're talking about standing out and thriving, unleashing the power of personal branding to attract your ideal client. And all of this is about leveraging your personal brand. Oftentimes, we've talked about this before, this idea of you don't want to be a duplicate of somebody else. You want to be authentically yourself. And the reason for this is because if you're identical to someone else, why would they work with you instead of them? And it's so funny that I say that. My son, who's 11, was doing some classwork today. We homeschool. He has a business management class. Yes, because my son's about that life. And I was looking at his exam today that he was doing, and they talked about kind of like, I forgot what the term was, and I should know because I'm in business, but I don't. But they talked about a term that basically meant like in a equal world, right? Where everybody had the same access, same product, same everything. Why would somebody want to pick one thing over the other? And the thought is that you wouldn't know who to go to. You wouldn't even care. You just pick one because they're all the same. But we don't live in that kind of world. There are reasons that people will go to one place or another to do business. Back in the day, I was talking about back in the day, back when some of us were young, you might be the only person in that town or the city who did what you did. And so if people wanted to utilize that product or service, they had to go to you. Well, that's not reality anymore. It really isn't. Because of the beautiful internet, they call it Beyonce's internet. Because of that, people now have access to people all over the world that may do something that you do or something very similar. And so you're really competing against them. Now, one would say, competing, I need to have the lowest prices or the best product. But people care more. They care about more than those things, right? They care about your values. That's a big thing now, especially in America. Like, what side you on? They care about your values. They care about your mission. They care about how does your brand affect the world, right? Are you putting more pollution into it? Are you giving back to the communities you're in? How are you paying your employees? They care about so many things. And so, yes, the price of your product does matter. Yes, the quality of your product does matter, but also you matter. And that's what personal branding means in this context. You matter. The things that set your brand apart matter. And so we're going to talk about that because these are the things as a small business owners you can leverage to attract and convert potential clients, right? Because that's what it's about. We've been talking about getting that money over the last month or so. Get that money. But in order to get the money, you have to be able to attract those individuals who are your perfect client. So how do we do that? First, let's discuss what is personal branding. All right, and I'm gonna read a definition. Personal branding is the process of establishing a unique identity that reflects who you are, what you stand for, and the value you offer the client. You hear the use? Yes, you, right? Not general sense. Some of you are trying to pretend you're Walmart and you can just do it all. Like, no, who are you? Because yes, we can go to Walmart because there's a bazillion of them, and that's why we're going. But if I have to go and get something from an individual, who are you? I want to know that as a consumer. So, how do we work on our own personal brand? Right? Well, first and foremost, you need to realize that this brand identity that you're creating, this persona needs to show you off as an expert. I can't tell you how many clients are like, I don't want to be on social media. I don't want people to see my face. What if they know who I am? It's like they want to know who you are as a small business owner, especially because I work with coaches and consultants. They want to know who you are. They want to see you. They want to put a face to the brand. So yes, you need to be seen personally as a thought leader, as an expert in your field to be able to land those clients that you really, really want to work with. You cannot sit here and just put a name up on a marquee and be like, that's okay. Like, no, they want to know who's behind the brand. And even for big brands, people are caring more and more every day about who is behind the brand. Because we talked about it. What are their values? What is their mission? What are they doing for the world? And as always, before we ever dive into any type of marketing strategies, we got to talk about the fact that, yes, you're going to always have to know who your target audience is, right? Because those are the people you want to engage with. I think that people need to realize there's a difference. While it's subtle, there is a difference between who we are as business people and who we are when the door is closed. Okay. I hope it's not a humongous difference where you're putting on a facade, because that's definitely going to keep you from getting clients. But there is a different version of you that may, that appears in public versus may appear with your spouse or your kids or your good friend of 14 years. And so, because of that, when you are thinking of your target audience, you need to make sure that the brand speaks to that person and that the personality and the person you're putting out is also connecting, right? There can't be huge disconnects. So if you're going to market yourself as this serious, maybe let's talk about a marriage coach, right? A marriage coach or a romance counselor or whatever. I even saw there was like a sex coach. I was like, what? Who is that? Because I do research all the time on different types of coaches. And say you're one of these individuals and people are like, okay, cool, they're putting out good content. They go and look at you and they find out you've been divorced 4 times, and maybe you've been beaten up, maybe maybe beating up on women. I don't know, all kind of stuff. But basically your persona, who you are, does not match the thing you're putting out into the world. If there's that disconnect, people again aren't going to want to do business with you. A good example of that is how people recently have, well, not recently, but over the last, I guess, couple of years, people have felt about Steve Harvey being this couples marriage guru man. He's putting out all these books, they're making them into movies, and they're like, how many failed marriages does this man have? But women are sitting here listening to him and they're like, oh, that don't make sense. Same thing can happen with you. If you are not showing up, one is authentic, but also showing up as a version that makes sense for your brand, again, people are going to start saying something doesn't feel just right, something's not sitting right, and they're going to go the other way. So yes, we can somewhat create the persona we want to put out to the world, but it does need to be authentic to us, and it does need to connect to our target audience, to make sure that we are all kind of on the same page and everything makes sense. And I hope that makes sense for you guys. If you got questions, let me know. All right, some things to think about as you build your authentic brand is your messaging needs to be clear everywhere that you put it. If you do one thing, say you do that one thing and put it everywhere in a clear, concise messaging. I'm actually currently working with a pretty large, well-known group right now doing just that, making sure the messaging wherever it gets put is consistent, because they were having the issue of different people were discussing the same project in different ways, and that leads to confusion, and the audience who it's supposed to be for doesn't quite understand the purpose and the mission behind the project. So you as a small business owner need to kind of stop sometimes and say, okay, is this clear? Is this on mission? Is this on brand? Is my audience going to get that this is me? I try to be the same everywhere. Now, sometimes you'll get a little bit more quirky, crazy, and then sometimes you'll get a little bit more polished, but all in all, when people see me, they should know this is me, this is my personality. And when my clients talk about me to other people, that messaging should be similar. And I think that that's something you need to think about. If you're keying with some clients over here and super serious over there, when they go refer you to other people, they're gonna say, "Yeah, she cool, but she gets down to business." And other people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, she's silly girl. We have a good old time. We drink wine together." It's like, who are they gonna get that day? And look, Cheryl's watching and she's still up here. She'll tell you. I've heard her recommend me to people and say stuff. She'd be like, Corey, be serious. And I'm like, I am, but I always tell her, we serious, but we try, I try to be still fun. But I do come across, I am a very serious person with a goofy side. That's what it is. I'm a serious person with a goofy side on the edge. Because I definitely am a coach that will push you. And I want all my clients, as they refer me and as people see me, to realize that I really care. I will push, but I try to do it with love. All right, a little love, a little fun. All right, so make sure when you're doing your messaging that it is very consistent wherever you're putting it out. Make sure you have a very clear brand voice. Okay, that goes again with your personality, but it also goes with the types of things you put out, especially in your value content. Make sure you're not just all over the place. Some people, I see you guys, some of y'all just be posting whatever, just whatever. I'm like, what is that? Who is that? Sometimes I have to go and double check, like, is that who I think it is? Make sure that when people see the things you put out, that it's consistent with what they've been seeing you put out. If you want to be known as one thing, then I need to see that. I shouldn't see today you're known as a carpenter, tomorrow you're known as a seamstress, the next day you're known for being a coach, and then you're this. Like, keep it all good, so that we can know what it is that we're supposed to be looking for and who you're talking to. So just make sure your brain voice is clear. And then also, just aesthetically, you have a visual identity to your brand. You need to also make sure that that is consistent. And this is where I fight the biggest battle. I think people understand, being seen as an expert, they understand having a clear voice and clear messaging. But boy, do people like, I ain't gonna call them names, but people love to change logos and random colors and different design elements and fonts from all over town. Like, they love it. I'll see an email in purple. I'll see a website in pink. I will see a social media post with lime green. It's just like, what is this? What are we doing here? One of the easiest things you can do when it comes to all of this is really the visual aspect of your brand, because we have cool things now like Canva, where you can literally put in the brand kit your colors, the preferred fonts, your logo, your one logo, and then everything will look consistent. I feel like you go out of your way to make it all colorful. And I will tell you, I'm gonna call out this one industry that I work with a lot: people who used to be educators. If you have ever spent one day in the classroom or the schoolhouse, you are probably um, a culprit of this, because I'm telling you, they don't like every color in the rainbow, every color of crayon it can be in the crayon box. You guys will throw everything. And I'm like, what are your brand colors? And they'll be like, oh, I don't even know. Like, I just like this with the logo, but I really like this color. I'm like, all right. And then look, I'm also call out, because I ain't gonna be mean to just my ed consultants. Anybody who maybe has been a part of a sorority or fraternity, when I tell you how many battles I fought to not have websites be green and pink, okay, blue and gold. I ain't gonna say no names, but it's just like, y'all, come on now. What are the brand colors? So most of you have probably sat down and at least thought out a couple of colors. Make sure that that's consistent. I know, you might get bored of it one day, or you just really want to put that pink someplace, but people need to recognize your brand at a glance. Think about, even just today, because it's about the end of the day, think about how many things you have seen if you even spent 10 minutes on any social media platform: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. Think about how many things you have visually seen this day. And then try to remember one post, just one, of somebody you like. It's crazy. I want people when they are going through their newsfeed to see my logo or to see my face or to see my look, my feel, and be able to notice it and stop and actually engage with it. If you are constantly switching up your vibe and the look of your brand, people will have a hard time pulling you out in the crowd. It's not that they don't want to, because I've come across people and I'm like, ooh, I like that. And then I never see them again. Never see them again. Makes me so upset. And then I've had other people that as soon as I see so they've posted something, I'm like, oh, I just want to look at it. There's even people that I will like their post before I read it because I like them. But I catch it because in that sea of content, I can easily recognize them and pull their content out. If people can't easily recognize your stuff, you are missing out on connecting and attracting clients and then being able to convert them to paid clients because people need to see you several times before typically they're going to be ready to do business with you. If they can't quickly see you, that it's going to take even longer for them to actually see you enough times to engage and actually purchase with you. So you're slowing yourself down. So please make sure you're looking at the visual identity of your brand, those colors, the vibe, the logo, even the fonts you're using to make sure that those are consistent as well. So let's talk low cost strategies because that is what I'm about. One, yes, you need to be online. If you're not online, you don't exist. Just gonna put it out there. I don't care that you don't like social media. I'm sorry. We're in 2023, about to be in 2024, and every day there's a new social media platform. You need to be on social media. And you need to be on social media. This past week, I was on a panel as a marketing expert, and I talked about my philosophy of if you can't do it all, it's okay. But you need to be on two platforms. You need to first be on the platform you like because that will increase your chances of being consistent there. Secondly, you need to be on the main platform your audience is on because, yes, you need to engage with them where they are. So, yes, I get you don't like social media. You don't want to be on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and Threads and Clubhouse and look, all the rest of them, right? Get it, and that's okay. When you can, like when you build out your team or you decide that you can build, fine, get on all of them. But until then, the platform you like, the platform where your audience is, and be consistent there. And I'm gonna break some more hearts real quick. Consistent is not, oh, I'll post 3 times a week. And I'm gonna say it like this. I don't think I've said it like this before. How many times is your competitor posting? Because I feel like sometimes I get a pushback from clients because they're like, but I just don't want to post every day. And I'm like, I get it. But in all honesty, right? Even though I don't want you guys to be always thinking of your competition because competition and competitiveness can be the thief of joy. I do want y'all to be realistic. You guys are battling for the attention of the same people sometimes. And if that is the case, how many times do they show up consistently in brand, giving value versus how many times you show up? I had a client one time who had the lovely tendency to be like, but I'm better than them and I'm better than them. And I don't understand why they have this and I don't have that. I could speak them under a table and I could do this and my product is better. And actually, I've heard that from more than one client. And I sit back and think, like, yeah, that person sucks. I see you. I hear the ums, the ahs, and everything else. They stumbling over their words. The information they're giving out is old and outdated. I get it. But apparently they were pitching themselves. Apparently their branding was together. Apparently they showed up and got their audience. Apparently they got their numbers up. Like they did the work and thus they got the opportunity. So instead of saying, I don't like doing this, you need to be honest and say, if I'm going to play this game, I need to play it well. Right. And guys, I'm telling you, if you guys knew how many times I say some of these things to people, I always tell people, I get in a perfect world, you want to do what you want, but I have to play the game that I'm in. Yes, I might like the game of life, but I'm in the game of Monopoly and I'm going to play it the best way I know how. Okay, some of you guys need to realize that you guys like playing one game and we actually all playing something else. And you need to come on and learn the rules of this game and do it better than other people. Because yes, you are going to see, maybe you're a speaker, you're going to be at an event and see a speaker who is nowhere near as good as you. Their products and services are nowhere as good of quality as yours. They may not even be better priced. And you're going to feel some type of way. I get it. You are going to feel some type of way. But what you should be feeling is, what am I not doing or not doing consistently enough that is making it so that they are getting the opportunities instead of me. And if there is room for growth for you, then do those things. Now, I'm not saying that everything in life is fair because they may know somebody that you don't know, like a child, but that'll get you further along to be like, hey, let me do all the things that I can do. Because at the end of the day, people will ask me, like, what is this one thing that I can do? What is that one thing that I can do to do this and be successful? It's like, guys, it's not a this or that, especially when it comes to marketing. People who are doing really well are doing this and that, not this or that. There is not, oh, I just want to post on social media, or I just want to have a website, or I just want to send out emails, or I just want to do funnels. That we can have priorities and we can start certain places and we can get bigger bangs for our buck doing different strategies. But we have to do some things as business owners, period. Right? We just have to do them in order to scale. That's just what it is. And I like to be real transparent about that because people will come to me and say, what's the one thing I can do? Girl, if it was only one thing that I needed to do, then that's what I would do. I wouldn't do the rest. But I do a lot because it takes a lot, especially, and I just like to be honest, because I know most of my audience are doing business on a budget. You don't have the budgets to do a whole bunch of big ads. So, yes, it's going to take time and money and consistency for you to get where you want to go. And as you build your finances, then you can invest in more expensive investments and strategies. Simple as that. So, yes, back to my point. You're going to have to build your online presence via social media, blogs, podcasting. You're also going to have to network. I'm sorry for the introverts. We're going to have to do that too. So, yes, but you can network online. You can network offline. I do suggest doing both if your budget is tight. I don't mean you got to jet set around the world. Find some events locally, that you can drive to on a weekend that you can network at. And then, like I said, definitely network online. One of my biggest things this year was for us to do a lot of collaborations. And most of those people I found online and just developed genuine organic relationships with, and they didn't mind coming to my audience and I didn't mind going to their audience, and we were able to help one another. And so find your people. Find people that you can do events with, people that will let you be on their podcast and you can let them on your podcast, people who will let you guest blog for their blog, people that will let you talk to their audience and do different things with, partner up and do joint ventures, all that fun stuff. But you can do that. You just have to want to do that and make a goal and actually follow through with it. So please keep that in mind. And when people see that you are out here booked and busy and doing things, it again gives them that idea of like, oh, this person's legit, right? Because I can say I'm great all day. I believe that and I know that to be true. But when you see me on a podcast, when you see me guest blogging or getting an article published or doing whatever, when you see other people recommend me, then I get more credibility. That third party credibility. It's not just me, it's everybody else. And I can throw many of my own events, but when you see me at somebody else's event, it's like, oh, okay, somebody else thinks she's pretty cool. All right, so you need to think of that as well. Make sure you're truly engaging with your audience. I mentioned earlier that I have my own private community. I think we are around 1,400 deep, something like that. Kudos to us. It's not about the numbers. I really do believe that. I believe we have a really good group, and I'm happy that I get to know a lot of you. But make sure you are developing some good relationships. Make sure you're doing some storytelling. Don't try to pretend that you are something that you're not. I like to be really honest. I mentioned that I homeschool. I mentioned when I'm tired. I mentioned when something doesn't work out. I mentioned when stuff do work out. Yes. When things pan out the way they're supposed to. Because I want to show that transparency and that authenticity. And you should do the same. Find ways to engage and interact with your audience. One way in which we do that is through these Monday night live talks. We also have our monthly or 1 to 2 a month master classes where we bring in experts. We also have our every third Friday of the month, our networking parties, and the list goes on and on. These are ways I can engage with my audience through events. I also, if you actually DM me, people do, I do respond. People email me, I respond there. People book calls with me. I get to interact with them there on a more intimate basis. But make sure that you are available to interact. You don't want to just be a talking head, constantly talking at your audience. You want to make sure that you leave room for them to actually get to know you and engage. And I get that as your brand gets bigger, the distance between you and your audience does get bigger. But just remember to always have some type of connection, right? It may not be to as many people one to one that you used to do. I had to get over that as my business grew. Like, I'm not going to be able to talk to everybody all the time, but still, like I said, find that human connection time, especially as you grow, because I've seen where people will like give you their numbers, talk to you, know everything about you, and then as their brand gets bigger, like you never get to speak to them again. And it's like you just want to make sure that there's at least some personal touch points, especially for your elite clients. Like I said, if people aren't investing and they're just at a certain level, then they may not have that direct access to you, but make sure they have some way to engage with you as a brand owner. In some aspects, and maybe it's not all the time, but maybe they can win a prize and get a chance to talk to you. Maybe they can get in a group call at an event, have more of like an intimate setting, but give them some opportunities. And every big brand does it. Like I was in a group a couple years ago where I was working with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. You gotta think how big they are, right? And I was working in a group, and one of my group mates got pulled up for a hot seat where she got to talk to Dean. And I'm like, that's the kind of connection. No, all of us didn't get, of course, a chance to talk to him, but it's like even just those opportunities at somebody at such a high level, so far away from their clientele, still having those possible connection points is really great. It builds up morale into your company as well, allowing your clients and potential clients to connect with you. Um, Also, don't forget using different forms of media. So, yes, you can put out flat images. Yes, you can put out pictures. Yes, you should be doing videos. You should do pre recorded videos. You should do live. You should do reels. You should do stories. You should have webinars. You should be on podcasts. Yes, 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 yes. You're not going to hear me say no to anything. Yes. Find different mediums because people will interact with you on the mediums they prefer. If somebody likes audio podcasts, they're going to listen to the podcast. If they like visual podcasts, they're going to watch you on a visual podcast. If they like to read, they're going to read your blog or look at your emails, because some people don't like social media and they will only engage with you through email. So make sure you're varying your formats of interaction. And all in all, just remember to be authentic, and it's about consistency. Yes, if you do a live today, that's great, but you got to build on that and maybe do a live at least once a week. And yes, it's great if you did a post today, but maybe do a post every day. Okay. And as you try different strategies and try different points of engagement, and just figure out what works for your audience, make sure you're monitoring the payback for your effort and then adapt and pivot as needed, because you don't want to be throwing something out there for months and months and months and it's not giving you any reward. Maybe that's not the right strategy for you at that time or for your brand. Try something else or adjust it as needed to get a better outcome. Okay. And sometimes it's not about the numbers. Also look at just the conversion rates, because some people are like, oh, I went live, but only like 3 people saw it. Cool. But did you book a call? And then did you do a high ticket sale from that? Did you spend any money to do that live? No. How much was that sale? $5,000, $10,000? Then I suggest you keep doing those lives. Just keep doing those lives, whether it's 2 people up there or not. Just gonna be honest with you, because that's the way it works out. So don't be afraid of lower numbers. I tell people you don't have to have a big following, you just have to have the right following. Okay. Like I said, just be ready to pivot and adjust. So that is our talk for tonight. I do want to throw this up on our screen real fast. We have a masterclass tomorrow with Nina Macarie. She actually is featured on my podcast. I don't think her episode has dropped yet, so stay tuned for that. I think she's in season 2. Season 2 just dropped. Well, just started dropping last Friday. We have a new episode that launches every Friday. I believe it's at 8 a.m. in the morning. Check it out. It's called iRock Business with Confidence podcast. But Nina's coming on because she is an expert at getting you booked for podcasts. And this is for free. I'm not telling you to go out here and buy your way into podcasts unless you're on like the Breakfast Club or something like that. She is really great at showing you how to get on podcasts and get ready for that interview. Okay, so this is a talk for all of you who are trying to get on podcasts or trying to get that third party credentials, right? Somebody's saying, yeah, you're awesome. Here's my audience to talk to. Nina's going to show you how to do that. And that is tomorrow at noon Eastern time. And as always, we want you there in person. But if you can't, It's okay. Register anyway because we give you access to the replays for 48 hours. Now, these master classes are via Zoom, so you must register to attend and to get the replays. And I would tell you, if you can, and if it's any way possible, you should come because we have Q&A every time. So our speakers will speak, they'll teach you something for 30, 45 minutes, and then we always have time for Q&A where you can ask all the important questions that you have specifically, right? We've had people, we had a website talk and we had a whole website audit. Somebody was like, oh, can I share my screen? She showed us her website and got feedback right away. That audit would have cost her a couple $100 and not a couple $1,000. And she got it for free because she showed it to the master class and just asked, hey, can I share my screen? So don't miss out on your blessing. Come on and sign up for this masterclass tomorrow at noon Eastern time. It is not too late to register. And if you're watching this anywhere but Instagram, I'm sorry, y'all, I'll get the link. The link is in the description of this video. And then we have a second masterclass this month with my homie, Misha Branch. I'm so happy we finally got her on the schedule, y'all. I've been asking for months and months and months and months for her to come and to talk to us. She's in our private community as well. So if you want to hit her up, send her a DM, check her out beforehand, definitely do so. But she will be with us on August, I believe it's 24th. I got this bright light in my face, cannot see. But she's coming to talk to us because she is a market research expert. She has worked with some of the biggest brands in the world, like Uncle Ben's Rice, Taco Bell, and other big brands. And she has decided to come down to the small business world and help us with the same types of support that these big brands have as far as market research. They have the information and knowledge that they need to make informed decisions and know where to spend their marketing dollars. I get we don't have the same marketing budget as an Uncle Ben's Rice or a Taco Bell or whoever, but at least if we have the information, we can make more informed decisions. So we're not out here wasting money. So definitely check her out because her session is going to be live. I already know she's amazing, but it's all about market research and how to use that to better our businesses faster and with skill, right? Because all these instructors are here not to sell you anything. They're here to teach you how to leverage their expertise to build your business. And these master classes are free. So take advantage. I'm going to give you this little footnote. I don't think we have master classes next year. I just want to let you know because it's a lot of work for me to go out and find these experts. And I want to make sure that we are doing what I need to do time wise. We'll still have experts, but I don't think we're going to have in the same format. So get on it while it's hot. Go ahead and grab a masterclass ticket for tomorrow with Nina, and then for the end of the month with Misha, because these are going to be sessions you do not want to miss out on. And the fact that they are free, because that's really what's going to change. The fact that they are free, get it while the getting is good, okay? Get it while the getting is good. But that is our talk for tonight. I'm just trying to make sure I don't have any questions. And Cheryl did post in the private community, so definitely check out her event coming up. I think it's this weekend. I do believe it's coming up pretty fast. Let me click on and give you the dates real fast. Let's see. Oh no, let me see if I can grab it. There we go. Had to see which one it was. So the Black Collective Networking Advocacy Conference, August 11th through the 13th. Oops, I'm clicking on stuff. Definitely go ahead and grab your ticket now. She did put, if you're in the private community, she dropped her information. Cheryl's awesome, so definitely check out her event. But all right, guys, with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. Remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock, and I will talk to you guys hopefully tomorrow at our masterclass, but if not, at our next Monday Night Live. Guys, have a great night.